Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Carly and let's get another reading for you. Welcome to Mystic of Venice. Let's call in our guides, angels, ancestors, spirit guides. Please be here now to give the collective divine messages for their highest good. We welcome you and thank you for being here. Please protect this space. Alrighty, today I am using the classic Rider-Waite deck, the US Games Rider-Waite deck. I did actually just get this. I have a lot of decks that are Rider-Waite imagery, but like different kinds of colors and finishes. And I have the Smith-Waite deck, and I've got like the mini Rider-Waite and the pocket Smith-Waite. But I was in the shop the other day and I pulled some of these out at the shop, and I just really like the cardstock. They're really thin, they're really slippery. It's just like a poker deck, and they're really easy to shuffle compared to some of the ones that I have on the heavier cardstock. So I'm really excited about this. And let's see what this reading is about and who it's for. Okay. The moon. You got the moon in reverse here. And this is perfect because we are headed into eclipse season. And so this season is going to be shining a light on the things that you don't normally look at, or the things that you don't want to look at. These is like the things that are like hidden in the shadows, that when the full moon comes out, it lightens up all these crevices so you can see in the dark, right? And with it being in reverse, I feel that you're going to be using your animal instincts, or just your instincts, because you've got the coyote and the dog here, and you're really going to go deep with the crawfish here. You're going through this portal, and for some of you this is going to be pleasant, and for others of you maybe this is something that is like really unexpected, or you just like weren't seeing clearly. Like, this is about releasing something from your life that you've gotten comfortable with, that you may not realize you need to release this from your life yet. And the other thing about eclipses is that if you don't release something, it's going to like pick. It's like the tower. It's going to pick something to come off of your plate, because it's about you know it's about making your life less stressful if there's too much on your plate. Like there's something in your life that's not going smoothly, or it's not working, and you're trying to just do everything to continue to make it run smoothly as you can, because you don't see a way out. So this is the kind of thing where it'll just take something off your plate, and if you don't direct the change, it's like Russian roulette, right? So it's not a good time for manifesting, depending on what kind of manifestation that you're doing. But really, it's not a time to manifest. It's a time to sit with yourself, maybe do some journaling, read some cards, write a list of things you want to release and why. But it's definitely not a time to manifest like most new moons are. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this has to do with your abundance, with your money. You know. Oh, wow. Okay. So you got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, right? And, the Queen of Pentacles is nurturing her pentacle, her abundance. And she has a lot of abundance. You have a lot of abundance. Or, I mean, you would if it was upright. But like here it is, it's saying like that something's not working in the home life, or financially there is some kind of struggle, and like you're not seeing like the growth or the results that you would really like to be seeing right now. It's like something's a little bit stagnant, or something that you're working on hasn't come to fruition. um you know there, so she has the Taurus on her throne, which stands for like a comfortable home life and things like this. Um, you have the Ten of Pentacles upright. So I feel like this is coming in because you also have Wheel of Fortune. It was in reverse. So this is like the end of bad luck. I feel like, it's like you have what you need. You have enough. You have what you need to make it work, right? But like there's whatever you were trying to grow just wasn't growing. There was some blockage. We'll pull some cards to clarify this. Um, but now you have the end of a bad luck cycle. Like whatever was stagnant is going to start flowing now, which is beautiful. I mean, like that's what we all want right now. Like the cards are really hitting the nose on the head. Ooh. So it's coming in fast, right? And it's like the energy that you've been putting into something is going to be reciprocated now. It's like the universe is keeping track. And I know I always say this, but the universe is keeping track and it wants to bring these rewards into you. So I feel like with the moon card here that it has to do with like releasing some sort of bad habit or like anything that's draining you, right? Like maybe your income wasn't coming in because you're feeling drained. It can also be low energy. The pentacles stand for energy, groundedness, You may have been like just pushing too hard, but for some of you, maybe there is something within your budget that you need to take a look at and see where, you can save. Like maybe that's something you feel like, oh, I couldn't possibly um, move into a smaller place, but maybe that's just for an instance, but maybe that's exactly what you need to make it easier on yourself and to have more stability. Or for some of you, it is really taking a look at your budget and being realistic about like where you spend your money. Like how much money do you spend on food? How much money do you spend on hair, makeup, personal beauty? Like, as you can see, my nails have not been doing my nails for at least a year. I do myself, but to save money, right? I was like, that's one place where I'm like, even though I love to have beautiful nails and I love to go get a pedicure every week, it's simply just, it, you know, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still have many areas I can improve in that I can see in this reading. So yeah, so you have the Fool here. It was in reverse, so it's saying to look before you leap. Like, yes, have faith. Yes, start this new adventure or new venture, right? Like a new business. I think that is what you've been in the process of doing for quite some time, you know, all year, for 12 months, right? But it's like, this is going to come in. You are going to receive this, but I feel like it requires some sacrifice with the eclipse, right? It requires you to have to like give something up. And this has been coming up in the cards of the day a lot. And so it's like, what are you going to give up to receive your happiness, to make your inner child happy, to make life more fun, to make life a little bit easier, to connect with source energy. And so there's a lot of ways that this can come in. Yeah, so this is really exciting. And I feel like for some of you, this has been a really rough time. We've been talking about that too. It's been a really rough time, but there has been some things that like maybe that, you know, I don't know, like what is maybe you're selling your car to ride your bike more, or, if you are already doing well, let's say, and you have more than one house and you sell one or like something like that, maybe you go down to one car for two people. There's like, I mean, these are some pretty big shifts, but there's also this whole eclipse is about like becoming more seeing where you can become more financially stable. So I don't know how this is going to look for you, and every case is different, but it goes from people that have plenty to people that are really struggling. This is going to affect all of us in some way. So let's see here. What can I get? Let me pull. Wait, tell me about the moon here. Tell me about this eclipse energy. What does the collective need to know? Ooh. Yeah, it's like something has to end. Like there is something, and this has been coming a lot too, that like maybe it's something you've been trying to quit. Maybe you've been trying to get on like a health kick and get that started, but it just like hasn't been the right time, or like you haven't gotten around to it. There's something that like you've probably been in your head saying, "Oh, I've got to do that," or "I need to stop that," or need to start that. And like this eclipse calls for nothing less than like finally getting around to it. And that way your angels, spirit guides, ancestors can get to the business of improving your life. But they can't improve your life. Source can improve your life if you don't at least meet it halfway. You have to get the ball rolling with the changes so that the other changes can like, you know, um, come into place, like rearrange around the change that you're making. If you start a health kick and you like diet and you exercise, and then the benefit is that your body starts to change, right? Like that one's really obvious. Um, for those of you that have addiction, again, like your body, your energy starts to come back. If this is like negative self talk, then your mood starts to be lighter. You become less depressed when you stop negative self-talking. If it's finding therapy, I'm trying to think of other things. It could be a lot of different things depending on, what you're going through, because this eclipse affects everybody. Um, okay, so we also have, you're almost there. There's just like you've got to put down some of these responsibilities or burdens. Like you've been doing too much. You've been doing too much, or at least it feels like too much. There's got to be like a simpler way for some of you. Like if this is like a financial thing, there's got to be a simpler way where you can reduce the amount of burdens you have, the amount of obligations you have, the amount of things that you say yes to, that you have to do. Um, you got the moon again, right? So it's like, yeah, there's definitely there's something you have to look at in your own life and see where these shadows are, and start to fix them. And like, part of shadow work is identifying like which things do you say, okay, I'm okay with that flaw, and what are the other things that you can change. You can't just be like, like, oh well, that bad habit is my shadow self, right? And then so I'm just gonna like not fix that, not change that, right? Like that's not how it works. Like there's some things that are just an aspect of you, and other things that you can continue to work on to make your life more manageable. All in all, I see this is really good. I hope I'm not being too hard on you. Like it's a small fix. It's like this is coming in like it or not. Like this new beginning is coming in, and is coming in quick. You did get the two of cups in reverse, so I feel like this is something like your higher self has been trying to tell you, or that you need to do, but you just like haven't gotten around to it. It's too hard, right? It's not something that's easy to change, but like it's like you have to get mentally prepared for it to psych yourself up. I'm getting an image of like double dutch where you're like trying, okay, I'm gonna start tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna do it not tomorrow. I'm gonna do it the next day, right? And like you can never seem to like jump in and start, start the momentum of like doing this thing that is going to be really good for you and change your life. For maybe some of you, it's just like working on this business, having the time to work on this business, or venture or idea, or this new stability, or getting a new job, or writing that resume. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'll get to it, right? And but you gotta at some point jump in with both feet and start moving, right? It's just the way it is. So let's see here. Why was the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse? What does the collective need to know about this? Why is the Queen of Pentacles? Oh. You got the Queen of Wands in reverse too. So I feel like you've just been like sluggish or out of sorts, It's like you haven't been, you know, as passionate. You're kind of like feeling slow and sluggish. You've been feeling a little bit cynical, and haven't been feeling as brave as you normally are. Um, something that's been really difficult is like made it hard for you to stay optimistic. Um, and like you may even care what other people think at this time, or have been caring what other people think, or what it would look like if you change, or how it affect your relationships or something like that. Also with the 2 cups in reverse, it's like you don't want to change because maybe if you change, you won't want to like hang out with the same people, or like cut off certain relationships, or you wouldn't be in alignment with these certain friends or relationships. Like let's say you're quitting smoking. I know this is a bad example. Or drinking, and your partner drinks, right? And so then you're not in alignment anymore. So it's like maybe you don't want to change because of how it affects relationships. So you got the wish fulfillment card. I mean, this is the make a wish card, and it's like you're coming at a time where you are like, it is favorable for you to have this emotional fulfillment. It's like you only have one little thing to do to like get there. It's like you've been making progress all year, and you have one little thing to do to get there. And it's time to get going on that, right? It's time to get going on that. The universe is like, it's time. We've been sending you the signs, right? We've been sending you the signs, and we know you're paying attention, but you haven't done anything to change yet, right? So you also have the 10 of Cups in reverse, right? So now you have, right, doing this one little thing is going to change everything. You've got to get a move on here. You're primed for success. So I think, yeah, like getting psyched up to like do the thing of whatever it is you're going to do. Let's say you're creating a YouTube channel, and the thing that you need to get psyched up to do is to like make a certain number of videos per week. And then every time you go to make a video, you're not in the mood, or it's too hot, or right, you have to get things just right. And so like maybe you don't need to get things just right. Maybe you just do it, with what you have now, and like, and that authenticity shows through, and that's the change you needed to make, right? So for everybody, it's going to be different. And I think for a lot of you, it's these self-limiting beliefs, right? It's like maybe you don't think you can, or it's too hard to make this one change, or um you know you've already learned so many lessons, like, you know why not just keep going the way that it's going? But it's like something you don't see is going to change, and so that's why you want to be ahead of it. You want to be ahead of the change, and so that it's not happening to you, right? So that's why we in this collective are directing our change. um for instance, I personally right now, I've just started a fitness routine, and it was taking me a little while to get into it. And it's like, oh, I would like go like 3 4 days and then have a cheat day, or like, not be compelled to walk as far as I would like to walk, or things like that. It's been really hot, all that. But so that's what I'm working on. I'm working on this fitness routine, get my energy back, get, healthy diet and all that. That's just one example, but it could be for you too. Let's see. What about this Wheel of Fortune? Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What is this bad luck? Or what is this end of this bad luck? Ooh. It's about you weren't wanting to look at the thing that you needed to, you know, like quit doing. You weren't looking, it's like being dissociated. It's like you made these mistakes before, and so you just don't even want to try it. It's like kind of, it's giving like a little bit cynical. Maybe it's because, where do we have that? You've been busting your butt for so long. Oh, that it just feels like it'll never change, right? It's like, it feels like, why bother? Like, I mean, I think that's what it is. It's like you've been trying so hard, and at some point, things still aren't working. And so it's like, why bother? Maybe you were having like a bit of a, you know, like you were doing good for a while, and then you kind of like, it would like the ebb and flow, you were like ebbing, right? Withdrawing a little bit, but it's time to like get back onto the bicycle here. You had the Fool in reverse again. That's twice you had the Fool in reverse, and it's about looking before you leap. But I'm also getting just like make the first move, just making the first move, taking action, um, to bring a little bit of more joy and sunshine in your life, right? Nobody's going to do it for you. It's like we have to do these things for ourselves. And, some people don't even want to change. They don't even try to change. And, they just stay in a life that doesn't feel content and complain about it. But that's not what we do here. In this collective, the people that are listening to this, I know that you guys are people that want to make your life a better place, that know and are optimistic enough to know that things are going to get better. So it's like you may have just had like this temporary lull where you're like, you know, I'm delusional. Things are never going to get better. It just is what it is. But it's like you've got to pull yourself up out of that energy. So let's see. Tell me about the Eight of Swords. I mean, that's fast moving. It was in reverse, so it's like something's delaying it. The Wheel of Fortune was in reverse, so coming in. What is delaying this progress? The Sun. It's about being connected to Source. It's like, you know, things are going to start moving because it's in your best interest. So, like, whatever's being removed from your life, it's in your best interest to make your life a happier, easier place. And it's like, it's one of those things like the Tower that when it comes in, it's hard to see why, like, what the benefit is. Like, you're like, oh no, that happened. You could, um, you could find out the company you work for is closing down and you're going to have to look for a new job. But, it happens for your best interest so you can find a place where you feel more suited and also have some job growth or, something that makes you happier. So, yeah, so it's asking you to reflect on this and to think about, like, what would be in your best interest to change. If you could change something in your life right now, like what would it mean sacrificing or to get rid of in your life? Like, what would you have to give up in order to make this a more abundant life where you have more money coming in, right? Prosperous life. So what else here? Tell me about the Six of Pentacles. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles, the reciprocal nature. You may have been receiving charity or giving charity, but it doesn't have to be about charity at all, but that you've been putting your energy into something and not receiving back, right? And so, like, it's time, the scales of justice say that it's, inevitable that the scales will balance out, and then it will be, oh, you also got justice. These are both the scales of justice card. It's like your karma is due to you. And so, like, maybe you've been unwilling to change because you were scared of not knowing what the future would hold. But actually, the future is so much brighter than where you were at that, like, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, this change is coming in for your highest good. It's gonna be good, Let's see. Got the Fool. No, it's too quick. Let's see. King of Swords in reverse. Yeah, it's just really asking you to look at these, any kinds of contracts, signing anything, like if you are, wanting to get a new car or something, to be like making sure that this is a good deal, or a house or something, or a new job. So like make sure you look before you leap, you know, because all that glitters is not gold. You do not have the Seven of Cups here though. So what else on the Fool? And that was in reverse. What else on the Fool? What's the collective need to know about this leap of faith, huh? King of Wands in reverse. Everything reverse, reverse. So yeah, it's about, you know, I feel like your emotions and your mind are like fighting each other. It's like your mind is like, your logic is saying one thing and your emotions are saying another thing. And it's like you can keep it together, you know, for a while, but then it's like, you know, it's like you want to turn those upside down. How is the collective going to, oh, did I call it? Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's really, it's not all that glitters is gold. Try not to get too wrapped up in your head and too wrapped up into your emotions, and to embody like the strength of the king instead of like when the king is lashing out, right? Embody that proactive approach, rather than a reactive one. And so what about the sun? Also, we don't want to be really reacting during eclipse season anyway. This is a time to like lay low, mind your P's and Q's. That was too many, you know, and let the fallout happen, you know, without you being in its direct path, right? Can you tell me about the sun here? Tell me about the sun for the collective. The Empress, right? By the time this eclipse season ends, you're going to be in a much better place where you can feel more creative and relaxed and abundant. You know, you may not be in the same place, it may not look the same, but you're going to be taking a sigh of relief that you didn't know that this is what you needed or something like that, or, you know, already feels better. And you also have the two I almost said two of the world, um Two of Wands. So now you can start planning for your future, you know. I was just thinking too, some of you are in debt. This could be you getting out of debt. And so in order to do that, you have to make some sacrifices. It's a lot, but I mean, it is very good. You're moving out of a very difficult phase of your life, and you're coming into like, I feel like you've been prepping for this all year or all 12 months, and this is the final push. Let's get a couple of these channeled messages and see if the universe has any channeled messages for you. All right. Rest. Yes. This is a time to rest. This is not a time to manifest. It's time to rest. Rest and reflection. You know, and to think, to journal, you know, and to save your energy for what's coming. What else does the big changes? See, big changes are coming in. I don't know what to expect, but big changes are coming in for a lot of the collective here. I know that this eclipse affects some signs more than others. I cannot remember which ones, but you can go ahead and check that out. I know that there are better videos about the eclipse than what I know, but I do follow astrology all the time. So ego death, yeah, so you had that at the beginning. Shed past versions of yourself. You are not the same person that you once were. And so like, you know, in order to be aligned with your life, there's like other things you have to shed. It could be like old beliefs, old attitudes, old triggers. You know, you're changing, and believe that, you know, that there's some aspects of your life that can't come with you. at this time. Channeled messages are found in the darndest places. Yes, look for signs and synchronicities at this time because there will be a lot of them. Attract, don't chase. This has to do with resting too. And also, it's like the end of this hustle culture. I think that, like, hustle, 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 like, working harder does not does not equal more money. Working harder equals burnout and early retirement, disability, things like that. Like the things that our parents taught us, that work overtime, work, work, work. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Never say no to a job, whatever. Yeah, it's not that time anymore. It's time for rest and reflection and figuring out how you can kind of streamline what you've got going on to utilize your energy the best so that at the end of the day, you're still happy, and more happy even, right? Ten of Pentacles. You are on this journey. You're going to be successful. It's divine timing. This has been waiting to come in for quite some time. And like, I feel for some of you, this could have been since like an earlier eclipse cycle, or this is something you've been putting off for years, changing about yourself, right? Some way that you identify with yourself. And yeah, and by doing this, by directing this change, you are going to receive an unexpected windfall. Like it is happening, right? It's happening. But it's only going to happen if you release this thing. It's like you have to make a change and everything else rearranges to fit it. Let me pull, I know this is a serious message, but I'm also taking the advice of this message. Yeah, because, as somebody in the like healing industry, I'm also a Reiki practitioner, but as somebody in the healing industry, you learn that like you're never truly healed, and like most healers become healers because they were healing. They're healing themselves, right? And so it's a process of healing. And so I always take these readings very seriously. I do readings for myself too, but a lot of these collective messages resonate with me also. So go ahead and drop it in the comments, if you know what it is that you need to release, and if you're looking forward to this unexpected windfall and all this good luck. And so one magical message. Whoa! Open your heart, expand your mind. Let your radiant heart pour out into everything you do. Yeah, you're going to be getting your energy back. And also it's about being optimistic, right? There's a need to be more optimistic. Don't let yourself get jaded, right? Don't let yourself get jaded. Nah, you are not stagnant. The transformation is just happening within. And let's pull, I'm going to do a talk about it card. I still really just like these cards. Because it's so funny, they're always so accurate. What does the talk about it cards, what does Spirit want to say? Some closing message for this reading with the talk about it cards. It's a closing message. What does the collective really need to know about this? Some nice parting words of advice. That's the one. True North Taco it is. This is meant for you. Your inner compass is guiding you to your buffet. It's all unfolding by your design. So yeah, it's like, there's something, a goal that you have that you're going towards, but you still have to release a certain aspect of yourself in order to make the final move, and achieve this goal. But it's like everything is teed up for you. The universe has everything teed up for you, and like all you have to do is hit the ball, right? So, I think you're going to get a home run on this one. I don't usually use sports analogies, but you're going to get a home run. You're going to run all the way to fourth. You're going to pass it, whatever, go all the way. To home base, right. All right, thank you so much, collective. If you like this reading, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more like this. And I definitely want to hear from you. So I'll see you next time. Bye.